Hey Sagittarius, hope you're doing fantastic. All right, your theme of the month, the Knight of Swords. Whew, you have some things to say or some things to get off your chest. Maybe you're doing that, or maybe you are cutting the cord. The Knight of Wands, or sorry, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords is somebody who is very direct, very hostile, somebody who is confrontational. And so I feel like for some of you, I get this feeling, Sag, that you have some people who come in and out of your life, this particular, a certain person who comes in and out of your life, who may come across as like, hey, how's it going? But then there's no substance behind it. And you're just kind of like, no, no. Not playing that game, not doing this, not interested in this at all. So the way it's going to go is that I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, or I'm going to tell you exactly what I deserve, etc. And then we're going to go from there. Now, for some of you, it's going to be different scenarios, obviously. But the Knight of Swords is definitely, like, I have some shit to get off my chest, and I have some things to say, and you're either going to sit and listen or you're not. But if you don't, you're not going to be any part of my life after this, because I do feel like there's some unresolved issues here, and like for good reason. You have some things to say. I feel like this person's kind of played some games, has some narcissistic tendencies, and you're just over it and you're like, nope, not doing this anymore, don't have time for the drama. The next card you have is your current position. The Ace of Pentacles is newness. It's prosperity, it's opportunity, it is new. I feel like you were just ready for the new. That's why you have some stuff to get off your chest. And even if you can't say it to this person, you may write them a letter, that you burn later or whatever, but you definitely have some feelings that you're like, hey, this is not okay. I deserved better. I deserve to be treated better. I'm holding myself to a much higher standard. The Ace of Pentacles, like I said, love this card coming out for the beginning, because it is beginning. It's a lot of new opportunities and prosperity coming your way. And I think you're just ready to cut the cord with anybody or anything or any situation that doesn't deserve to, to store any space in your mind or energy anymore. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into figuring out exactly what it is they want, figuring out exactly what they deserve, and then again, not settling for anything less. Like I feel like you guys have not been on your A game throughout parts of 2019's take up too much headspace, take up too much vibration. And the Empress is compassionate, warm, and radiates, this amazing feeling, smiles and is energetic and just genuinely wants to feel good about life. And I feel like you're going to be cutting some crap out of your life so that you can feel that way, because there's some things that are holding you down or have held you down or held you back. And they shouldn't be. And you have complete control to disengage that or disable that to where that's not happening in your life. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood. And you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is romance. And I feel like the universe is bringing this up from the past, because I feel like they're almost saying like you've been easily romanced, which is not a poke at Sagittarius. It's more of a, I feel like this person comes in and says, but I miss you, I love you, you're my cup, here's my cup, I want to, like, let's hold each other's cup, and I give you my cup, you get my drift. And that you've done this in the past, and the universe is saying, there's true romance out there to be had. There's true love out there to be had. There's true friendship and excitement and healthy relationships out there to be had. Understand when it's true romance, when somebody's actually being authentic with you. And I know sometimes it's hard, because a lot of times we feel like, what? This person's like that? Like they totally pulled the wool over my eyes. I can't believe it. But the Knight of Cups is definitely signifying, I feel like, the ability to find that romance again, to feel that feeling again. And the universe is saying, look, you've had it before, you'll have it again. You need to cut ties with anybody who doesn't bring prosperity or doesn't help enhance your life. The next card you have is your distant past over the past few months, and you have the Eight of Cups. This card has been coming out quite a lot. The Eight of Cups is slow moving, stagnation, dissatisfaction. And I feel like if this person has communicated with you, it has been that. It's been disappointing. It's been like, hey, how are you doing? Great, how are you? And then nothing. I feel like there's a very big void here, Sagittarius, for you guys with this person. There's no closure. There's no actual conversation. Like if you try and talk to this person and have a serious conversation, they lead off into something else, or they start blaming you, or all of a sudden it gets flipped around on you. I just feel like this person is somebody you can't actually have a conversation with because they get hostile, or they hang up the phone, or they can't be mature about it. There's just, and so it's kind of like, I feel like you're kind of like, you're either going to listen, we're going to have a conversation, or you're not in my life anymore. Like, take it or leave it. And I feel like you're fine with either way. You're kind of like, even if we did get back together, I don't know that things would move in the direction I want. Would move in the direction I want. Going in the direction I want to go now. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is bliss, pleasure, fulfillment, feeling good about things, making wishes, manifesting. So I feel like, Sagittarius, you're literally going to be manifesting new and positive things into your life. I feel like this person right now, just, there's like a grit here that they just really get under your skin. They kind of tie you in knots, and not the good tying in knots. Like, they, anytime they even text you or call you, if they are at all, you feel very uncomfortable. And for a lot of you, I feel like you've been completely cut off, or they've been completely cut off. But there's something coming in the next week or two, I feel like, that's gonna, you guys are gonna communicate. But then I feel like you guys might just go off and be like, and then you're gonna be like, whew, burden is lifted, I feel better, let's go out and get them. All right, the next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the month, and you have the Five of Pentacles. Pentacles is a feeling of loss. It's a feeling of despair. It's a feeling of a sadness. Like you'd rather be in solitude. Now, it's interesting here because I feel like you have cut the cord with this person, even though they have been communicating with you a little bit, or vice versa. This can be for cross watchers as well, but keep in mind, I read for the sign I'm reading for. All right, so the Five of Pentacles, like I said, is this helpless feeling of hurt, an overwhelming feeling. But what's interesting, you're going to reject them, you're cutting them off completely, because like I said, this Nine of Swords speaks loudly that this person has continuously not paid attention, and you're just done with it. You're not okay with it anymore, and you're not about to waste any more time or energy on it. However, they are, you know, still watching you. They are keeping an eye on social media. What are you up to? What are you, you know, they're like, this Five of Pentacles makes me feel like they're feeling hurt, or they're feeling rejected right now, and you're just kind of like, I know that, and it's hurting me too, but this isn't working the way it's going. It's just not working. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month. It could be the beginning, middle, end, and this is what I'm talking about. I hear there goes possibly another confrontation, or some sort of having a conversation, because the Queen of Swords is somebody who is wise, has learned a lot from past, and knows what they will and will not tolerate. And the Queen of Swords right here, she or he, I don't apply sex to the cards, is very critical, and somebody who has a lot to say, somebody who is like, you know, you're going to listen to what I have to say. So I feel like there's been no real communication between you and this person, or significant communication, or anything of value, and maybe they're coming through, and you're going to give them another chance. But I do feel like you're holding your ground. Like, you're just like, I don't have time for the bullshit. Like, tell me straight up what you want. Tell me straight up. And if we can do it, if we can make it happen, if it's both what we want, make it happen. If it's both what we want, I'm in a good position right now. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the month. Well, this makes sense. This is somebody who either cheated, lied, had a third-party situation, is currently in a situation like married, or with somebody right now trying to contact you, or you're with somebody and they're still trying to contact you, because the Three of Pentacles is teamwork, togetherness, but it's also considered a third-party card. And I feel like you just don't trust this person. Like, your gut is like, you've given them chance after chance after chance, and they have continued this, you're continuously dissatisfied with the outcome. So whatever the situation for you is, I don't feel like they've necessarily gotten rid of this other person, or if they have, I just don't know if you're in a position where you can trust them. And I think you're ready to move on and find something new. The next card you have is your hopes or fears for the outcome, and you have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is assessing a situation, and again, this is internal, but it's assessing a situation and determining whether it's worth the risk or not. It's a risk-reward situation. What's the payoff? If I were to give this person another chance, am I going to be in misery again? Am I going to feel, you know, am I going to want am I going to feel hostile like this? Or, you know, will things be hunky-dory? Right now, I hate to say I feel, and I don't know that we can go back to where we were, because right now everything's shiny and new, or that's at least how you're going to look at coming out. And see, then you have the moon, which is Pisces card. So you could be dealing with Pisces, but the moon is shadiness. Okay. It's paranoia. It's, yeah, there's the third party card again. The moon is, you know, I always use the same example. I'm in the woods. The only light I have is the moon, and there's a giant object in front of me. And the giant object is either a bear that can eat my feet or a rock that I can walk around. And the moon is like, you don't know. There's unknown. There's too much unknown here. You don't trust this person. I feel like you don't get straight answers from them. I feel like you're just over it. I feel like you're ready to move into a different direction. And I just shuffled the same set of cards. I don't know why. So literally the moon tells me that right now you just don't have enough answers on certain situations with this person, whether it's a third party situation or not. You just don't have enough answers to make a decisive decision on keeping them in your life or giving them another chance. And therefore you're going to err on the side of caution, especially with this Three of Pentacles showing up again. Now threes could be a number for you, maybe a lucky number, something you've been seeing a lot, 333, etc. But I feel like this person is coming back around. Yep. With the Wheel of back around, yep. With the Wheel, you may, I feel like you're going to be like, you know, I may be able to get over this, or I may be able to trust you again at some point, but I feel like it's kind of like now's not the time. Maybe in the future, but I just feel like with the Three of Pentacles showing up again, the moon card, the moon is just so unclear, okay? The moon is literally like, I don't know. Yeah. The moon is like, I can't see things clearly right now. And I don't feel like you're being clear with me right now. And so the only position I have right now is to assume that if it's meant to be, it'll come back around. Because then you have this Queen of Pentacles. Again, somebody who's learned, like you have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles who've learned from mistakes. They've grown wiser. The Queen of Pentacles is attentive to those who are attentive to you, to her, or him. And the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very nurturing, very maternal, paternal. So maybe you only deal with this person because you guys have kids together, or maybe you have stepkids with them, or whatever the case may be. But there's definitely like, we have to work as a team, because maybe you guys are bound by a situation, family or something like that. But the Queen of Pentacles knows her worth and is not willing to settle. Then you have the Six of Swords, which is leaving, abandonment, retreat. And I feel like that's how you're treating this situation right now. I feel like you are going to right now, you're going to cut this off. Again, I don't necessarily think it's going to be forever. I think there's a chance that it could come back around. You have the High Priestess here, which is very calming, very understanding, very, the High Priestess is about an otherness, a higher power, somebody stepping in. So I think you're kind of trusting in the universe and saying, hey, if I am supposed to be with this person, if it is supposed to happen, it will come back around, but it will feel a lot better. Because right now, there's just too much indecision, too much distrust, and not knowing how to feel, okay? And then you have the Six of Wands, which is victory, but also success, achievement, pride. I feel like that's where you're getting in life in general with this newness. You're going to feel a level of success. You're going to feel like, hey, I did it without this person. Hey, I can cut them off. I don't need this person, nor do I want the bad vibration. Now, doesn't mean that you guys won't get back together at all. It just means it's not your main focus right now. Especially here with the Witchwood, you have the Quill, new projects. Anytime it's upright, it's this. And if it's turned upside down, it's this. So right now you have new projects. New. Again, that you can trust them. I think it's over and over, time and time again, and you're like, fuck that. The past is not going to repeat itself. I'm not repeating this cycle. I'm leaving this situation until the universe, the High Priestess, brings it back around in my direction and says, hey, this is something you should deal with again. And you have Maggie. Hug someone today. Oh, I love those Oracle cards. I don't know why, they just make me smile. But you guys, I just feel like right now, it's not that you don't care about this person. It's not that you don't love them. It's that now is not now's not the time. There's been nothing to make you feel in your gut or trust that this situation won't end up exactly how it's ended up in the past couple of months or the past year or so. All right, Sagittarius, have an amazing new year. See you soon.